Hello, today we are looking at BIDMAS and Algebra. Now this is one of the fundamental building blocks of mathematics. We need to be able to know how the position of the letters, numbers and symbols changes the meaning. And if we know that, it helps us understand what algebra is and what we're doing. Without these building blocks, we won't be able to solve, simplify, substitute, expand, factorise, and all of the beautiful algebra that you'll be doing over the next few years. So this is key. This is important. Okay. Let's go through it step by step. Now, BIDMAS is something you already know about. You already know that each of the letters stands for a different mathematical operation. So we have, actually I'm going to change pens just so it's a little bit easier to see, because I don't think that blue is very easy to see in this light. So we have B-I-D-M-A-S, BIDMAS. Make sure we can see it. We can indeed. And each of those letters stands for a different mathematical operation. So brackets, okay, it's a mathematical symbol and they look like that. If you see it, it means you're doing it first. And indeed, with maths, if they have brackets, they are there. If they're not there, they do not exist. They are not there. Okay, so you've actually got to be able to see your little smiley, looking at the brackets, you can see it. And if you've got brackets, whatever is inside, you need to do it first. Okay, and that is really key, really important. The next word is indices. Okay, now indices are where you've got a number written in that top right hand corner. So it could be absolutely anything, and you've got something written in that top right hand corner. So for example, if I do y to the power 4, that means y multiplied by y multiplied by y multiplied by y, because there are, let's put a bit more colour in this, there are 4 y's, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we don't know how much y is worth. It's a variable, it could change, but what we do know is when we see y with a little 4 written up the top, it's y times y times y times y. So you're multiplying the number by itself. Okay, now for completeness, so that you're aware, you can also get fractional indices, you can get decimal indices, and you'll look at those in more depth in possibly year 8 or lower 5th. But for now, yours will be whole number indices. It's also worth mentioning that square roots and cube roots, like we did in the last unit, they also come under indices as well. And these will change again with the number in that top right hand corner. D is for division. Let's see if the pink shows up. Does that show up on camera? Not at all. Dreadful choice of colour, Mrs. Patmore. Division. Let's rewrite in blue. I-V-I-S-I-O-N. Near enough. Now, with algebra, what you'll find is you get something written like a fraction. So, you will have the number or the letter up the top. I'm going to take the number P. And whatever is below, in this case, I'm choosing the number 5. I think I need to find some better colours. It means you're dividing by the denominator. Whatever is below, you are dividing by. Okay? So here, it means we're taking the P and we are dividing by 5. So you're dividing by that denominator. And again, that really doesn't show up very clearly. 5. So you're dividing by 5. For whatever's the denominator, you're dividing by. Or I could take another example. I could take 27. Actually, 27 over Q, which means we've got 27 and we are dividing by Q. So whatever's on the bottom, you divide by the denominator. So when it's written like a fraction, it means it's division. Pause. Found a better pen. Right, so next one. Again, this is different. Multiplication. So that you don't get in a muddle between multiplication and the letter X, and we use X a lot, what we do is we do a curly X. Now it's worth practicing. Some of you will change your handwriting at this point. That's fine. Some of you will only use a curly X in mathematics. That's fine. But in maths, you've absolutely got to use that curly X. The way you draw a curly X is it's a backward C followed by a forward C. I'll do that again. Backward C followed by a forward C. If you want to take the opportunity now to practice drawing those curly X's, please do. Pause the video while you do so. Once you've done that, look back at multiplication. Now the way that we write multiplication in algebra is we write the symbols or numbers together without a gap. Okay, so if I take 10B, that means I've got 10 and I'm multiplying it by the letter B. We don't know what B is worth. B is a variable, it could change, but essentially it's 10B, 10 times B. Okay, likewise we could have a group of letters together, for example PQR. That means P multiplied by Q multiplied by R. Also, just for completeness here, but again you'll look at this in far more depth in form 8 and lower fifth. If you've got something written immediately outside a bracket, it means you're multiplying what's outside the bracket by each term inside the bracket. So just for an example for completeness, we could have C open brackets 4 minus D. So that would give us C times 4 is 4C minus C times D, we write as CD. But as I say, that part there you will see in far more depth in form 8 and lower fifth. A is for add or addition, so it's in the same tense, and again we have the plus sign, and if you see the plus sign there in algebra, it's there. If you don't see the plus sign, it's not there. So I'm going to do another little emoji, curly hair this time. Okay, looking at the plus sign, there it is. Lovely. And the same with subtraction. It's there, you've got it there, and that subtraction symbol again means you are subtracting. You see it, the symbol is drawn. So final emoji. Let's have glasses on this person. Okay, and they're looking at the subtraction symbol, it's there. Okay, so to recap, this is the order that we do algebra in. When we're looking at algebra, we're looking for the symbols, the letters, and how they change the meaning. We have brackets, indices, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. And when we're reading algebra, we're looking for it in this order. Right, let's have a look at some examples. This over so we can just see. Lovely. Example number 1. I'm going to take that number, that symbol, and that letter. What are we doing? Well, we're taking 3 and we are subtracting A. We don't know what A is at the moment. What we do know is it varies, it will change. It is A. Number 2, Another example here. I'm going to take this letter here this time, and I'm going to put that symbol up the top. What are we doing? Well, we're taking B. We don't know what B is because it's a variable, it could change, but we know what rules we are following. It's written in that top right hand corner there. So we're taking B and we're multiplying it by itself 3 times because we have the 3 written in that top right hand corner. 1, 2, 3. B to the power 3. Okay, it can get more complicated. Surprisingly enough, I'm going to take the letter C. I'm going to do that to it. And I'm going to put that letter in there. Again, we do not know the value of C. We do not know the value of D. But following the rules of BIDMAS, we can work out what we're doing. So, in fact, we've got brackets here. So it means whatever's inside the brackets, we have to do it first. So we've got C, add D. Then we are going to do this. Now it's written like a fraction. The C plus 5 is above the D. So we found, I put C add D. That's my fault entirely. Sorry, class. C add 5C. Even the best teachers make mistakes. And there's nothing wrong with a mistake. Remember, admit what's wrong and correct it. So just to recap, we've got C plus 5. So we're taking the C, we're adding 5 to it. Then we are dividing by D. Okay, so we've broken it down into step by step. Final example I'm going to give you is we've got A, B, C, D, E. I'm going to have E to the power of that minus F, G. Okay, so we've got E to the power 4, or with the indices 4 minus FG. So we've got to break it down in steps. So there is no brackets. We've got an indices, so we know we're taking E and we're doing E times E times E times E, because there are how many E's? There are 4 E's. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then, okay, what are we going to do here? Then we are going to subtract, okay, and we must do this FG together. We can't subtract F, then multiply by G, then we subtract, and I'm going to put this F times G, okay, and this, Jesus, grabbing a colour, this needs to be worked out. So I'm putting this in a little cloud so we know, oh, my blue's nearly running out. So we know that this has to be done together. It's not subtract F, then multiply by G. It's then subtract F multiplied by G. Okay, so you're really grouping it together. I'm going to write down some examples, pause the video, and work out what is happening to the algebra in words. So, question number 5, E, F, G, we're going to have H, that symbol and that. Question number 6. Now, I'm going to skip straight to J because in algebra we tend to avoid I because I has a different meaning in mathematics, which I will talk about another time, not today. J, actually let's go for 7J, just like that. Question number 7, JK, we'll have k minus 3 all over 6. Question number 8. JKL will have LMN. Now question number 9 and question number 10 is where it's going to get tricky, so be warned. Okay, and that is an L, not a bracket. Okay, we're going to have, oh, there goes my light. Hold on. Pause it. Sorry about that. Never had that happen before, but then again, I haven't had to film using my light before, but there we go. Just goes to show, like I say, I'm actually human. So, as I was saying, number 9, LMN, again, I'm going to miss O out because O could get mixed up with the number 0. LMNOP, so I'm going to have 3P and then a little 2 in the top right hand corner. And for number 10, I'm going to use P again. I'm going to use 3 again, and I'm going to use 2 again, but I'm going to do that first. So be careful on 9 and 10. Pause the video, write out what you think the answers to these are. When you've written them out, restart the video and I'll go through them with you. Okay, right, let's have a look at these answers then. So the first one, H symbol 2. Well, that symbol means addition. So we've got H add 2. Lovely. Nice and simple to start off with. Next one, we've got the 7 and the J written together without a gap. So it means we must be multiplying. So we're going to take the 7 and we're going to multiply by J. Okay. Getting trickier. Which way round are we going to do this? Oh, I've just realised I did that wrong actually. I should have put that on there to make it clearer for you. I do apologise. As you go on, you'll get used to the idea whatever's on top of the whole bracket you do first. I should have put the brackets in there. My apologies, just to make it clearer. So we've got the letter K. We're subtracting 3. Then we divide by 6. Next one, LMN written together, that's multiplication, so it's ML multiplied by M multiplied by N. So you're breaking it down step by step. Now these are the tricky two. 3P with a little 2 at the top, which we call squared, open brackets 3P, close brackets squared. Okay, so this one, following the rules of indices, we've got a 2 in the top right hand corner. It means we have to do that first. So it is P multiplied by P, again, as we've done time and time again, because there are 2 in that top right hand corner. It's 1P, 2P, and again, let me check to see how clearly that's coming out on the video. Not clear at all, and in fact I've pulled it down so you can't see the last question anyway. Right, try again. Let's go for orange this time. Yay, that's so much clearer. So we've got a 2 written in that top right hand corner. 1, 2 P's. You're multiplying P by itself twice. Then we multiply by 3. Multiply by 3. This one, however, the brackets are around the 3 and the P. That means we do 3 multiplied by P, then we square it. Now you might have written it 3 times P, then multiply by 3 times P, or 3 multiplied by 3. And again, you might have used a bit of colour on that just to show that separately. Remember, the colour's not just to make it look pretty, it's to draw the eye and enhance your learning. Okay, so that is a introduction to BIDMAS and how The position of the letters, numbers and symbols changes their meaning.